The Sentinel is the first soldier of an army that is approaching. The first soldier that we built. And he stood as a representation that everyone counts, that an army of victory is on the march. The Sentinel stands erect with his staff held high and straight and the flag of victory waving in the air to signal everyone that victory has arrived. The Sentinel stands with all of his pieces majestically crafted, and the artist's impersonation and interpretation of what is supposed to be happening is that the Sentinel stands as a statement of victory. It stands as a statement that all things are possible. And as you look at him and all the unique pieces from his arms that are completely sculpted from arms of chairs, and his breastplate that is completely sculpted from also arms of chairs, and his legs that are bar stools and chairs, and his head and his shoulders that are also chairs. And all of these pieces are unique. And a lot of the pieces that the Sentinel and the other soldiers are made from were trees with leaves that stood in the beechwood forests of Poland and Czechoslovakia that breathed and filtered the air of World War II. And maybe they shouted for peace then, and they shout for victory now. Maybe one of the most profound realizations that we had about the art when it was being sculpted, as I started to inquire about the origin of the wood and the pieces that were on there, is that some of the pieces that exist in these soldiers were actually trees that had leaves on them that were in the beechwood forests of Poland and Czechoslovakia and Slovenia. It's where they gave shelter to the refugees that were being hunted, and it's where maybe peace was cried out and now victory is shouted. As the Sentinel evolved, and Brian would work on the shoulder and the head and the torso, and then he would work on the legs and the feet and the different pieces and the arms. The organic nature in which he applied all of the various parts that we had, because we had more parts than anybody could ever imagine, thousands and thousands of blocks and legs and broken legs and whole chairs and pieces that had a purpose when they were one complete chair. But the parts that we had were parts of chairs that were missing other parts. And it kind of makes it profound that as they evolved, one chair, while it didn't have all of the components to be a single chair, combined with other parts, became a leg and became the arms and became the chest and became the shoulders, thus fortifying the vision going forward that all the parts mattered, that you couldn't build the arms without the other arms, and that all of the pieces needed to connect. I've had people over the years say, well, maybe you should call it this, or maybe you should call it love, or maybe you should call it peace or something. Everyone has a vision of what they see. And what we liked about the word victory is that victory is not necessarily a statement of being a victor over something, as it is much for us a statement of a celebration of the rising of the human spirit that brings us to victory.